Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. This video is part of a 10 video series where I show you how to analyze data using pivot tables and charts in Excel. I will start by how to prepare your data, create your first pivot table. I will show you in detail how to customize the table, in detail how to sort, filter and group, everything you need to know to manage the source data, move and copy your tables, how you can use interactive pivot charts, slicers and timelines to visualize your data, how to put everything together in an interactive dashboard, and last but not least, how to save your dashboard, pivot tables and charts as templates and reuse them again. With pivot tables, you have all the possibilities for sorting and filtering data that are available with normal tables, and much more. Make sure that the field headers command is activated so that the headers and the drop-down filter menu are shown. I will start by sorting, then grouping, and finally the filtering options. Let's begin by sorting from smallest to largest. Right-click within the numerical data, go to Sort, and choose from smallest to largest. Right-click within the Categories column and choose to sort alphabetically. You can apply the alphabetical sorting by clicking on the drop-down menu next to the field name. You can manually hide or show items you want in the table. To do that, click on the drop-down menu and deselect items you don't want to see. Otherwise, select the items within the table, right-click, filter, then hide selected items. To show the items hidden, click on the drop-down list and activate the check mark next to them. Sort manually by drag and drop. Simply select any field, for example, in the row area, drag and drop it. Allow multiple filters per field. To allow multiple filters per field, go to the pivot table options. Under Totals and Filters, make sure the Allow Multiple Filters per Field option is selected. Filter by top 10 values. You can apply the same filters as with normal tables. For example, if you want to filter for the top 10 values, click on the drop-down menu and choose Filter by Value, Top 10. Here you can adjust if the top or bottom 10, the number, for example, you can set it to be top 7, change the numbers to a percentage, meaning the top 7%, and so on. Press OK when you finish. Filter by date or a value range. Click on the drop-down menu and choose the Date filter, the Between options. Set as dates January and April. The same can be done for values. You can filter values between two ranges. Filter data with a timeline. Pivot table allows you the possibilities of filtering by clicking on interactive buttons that filter and sort your data by a simple click. Select within your data, under the Pivot Table Analyze tab, choose Insert Timeline. I will adjust the presentation to quarters. Now if I click on one quarter, its data will be summarized in the pivot table. If I expand the selection for 3 quarters, the data will be calculated accordingly in the pivot table. Click on the X filter symbol to remove all filters. Filter data with a slicer. Select within the data and choose to insert a slicer. Excel will ask you to select which category to filter with a slicer. I will select the expense categories, click on one of the interactive buttons, and the table will be adjusted accordingly. Hold Ctrl and select multiple categories. Select one category, hold Shift, select another one below or above. All the range in between will be selected. To select multiple categories, activate the option. Then you can select as many categories as you want. As you probably noticed, both the category slicer and timeline are working simultaneously. You can apply multiple slicers to one table. To remove the filtered data, click on the X filter symbol. When you select the Slicer tab will appear on the ribbon. Under Slicer Styles, you can choose a slicer presentation by selecting a preset or creating your own. Under the Buttons section, you can adjust the number of columns as well as the button size. Under the Arrange section, you can use the common features to align and arrange objects in a dashboard, for example. If you have multiple pivot tables based on the same row data, you can use one slicer to filter multiple tables. Click on the Report Connections button in the Slicer tab. A pop-up window will appear. If your sheet contains multiple tables, they will be listed here. Check the box next to the pivot table name. This way the slicer will filter 2 or more pivot tables simultaneously. In case you need to report each category on a separate sheet in your workbook, whether by payment method, expense categories, fixed or variable cost, Excel has a cool feature to do that for you. Instead of creating 20 pivot tables on 20 pages, grab the categories file you want on a separate sheet in the Report Filter area. Click on the pivot table options and select Show Report Filter Pages. This is how simple it is. Grouping data. You can group data easily within a pivot table. This means, for example, you can group the date in weeks, months, quarters, or years. If I select the data under 2021 and click on Group Selection, Excel will ask me to define a start and finish point as well as a group category. I will choose to group in quarters and click OK. You can group data manually by selecting a range, right-clicking and choosing to group them. The data will be summed and presented accordingly. You can group data by value. Let's say you would like to count how many times you pay sums above 500 USD per year. You can enter the expenses in the row area as well as in the value area and choose to group data based on value. Choose a start and an end sum as well as a price interval. Press OK. This is how useful and amazing pivot tables are. I hope you found what you were looking for in this tutorial. If yes, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to this channel for more videos. Check out other Excel video tutorials by Swag Academy in this playlist. Thanks for watching.